Good evening and welcome to the upper deck. I'm Lynn. Next to me is Sierra. And yes, it was another rubber game Sunday, but there was down to the little wire on how this was going to go. And I'm so glad that this show is going to be on the positive, on the looking forward, and not the abysmal rants and raves that we've been having so much of lately. Um, so I want to start roll call because I'm so glad that our regulars are finding us, and so glad to see folks that weren't with us last week and we're gaining a little traction. So want to say hi to Jonathan, Lori, and I have John the Beagle Dad, Michael. So glad to see you. Blaze, good to see you. Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about all four of your comments. And I also see that someone else just joined. Oh, Shayna, the ray of sunshine, Jordan, and Sean. So good to have. And FJ. FJ is with us. So good to have the family with us at this very happy moment in time. So let's just kick things off like we always do with Spencer's trivia question of the week. So here we go. And I'm just reminding everybody, Lori's back. She wasn't here last week. Um, so hit those buzzers early. In 2015, the Yankees and the Astros faced each other in the very first MLB wildcard game. Upon clinching the spot in the postseason and celebrating in the Yankees clubhouse, this former Yankee was quoted as saying, "Everyone is on the same page, and that page is getting drunk." Who was that Yankee? I don't know, but I like him. Well, actually, I do know because I have the answer.
I hope you know.
So, yeah, rewind your brains to 2015, and we'll give you the answer towards the end of the show. And we'll see how things go. Spencer also gifted me with a bonus because he felt bad that he missed 2 weeks ago. So that's in my back pocket if we have time. So let's just get right to it, and let's talk about the week that was, which for a change, I don't mind how things look in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are like 11 of their last 14, I believe. If the Red Sox lose today, the Yankees will be within 2 of the division title, which is phenomenal. To go all the way back to last Tuesday, super weird series in Houston. Ump and crew was horrible. Like, I don't even know. I don't think I've seen it. Like, the umps have been consistently bad this season, but this might be the worst that I've seen them. Like, Tuesday night being the absolute worst. Like, you could clearly tell they didn't care for the Yankees. Instead of like being a strike zone, there was an anti-Yankee zone going on. Max Fried had a great outing, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 5 strikes. We had 2 home runs from Jazz. We had a Trent Grisham grand slam after that really weird interaction with Framber Valdez and Caesar Salad, his catcher. Like, that was just super weird. And then Caballero got ejected in the 4th inning. So he's firing hot. We go to Wednesday. Will Warren was okay. He wasn't terrible. But the Yankees lost. Boone got ejected. Devin Williams got ejected. Jazz ended the game struck out looking, even though it was a ball. He should have been walked. And you know what? Any other situation, I would have been upset that Jazz didn't swing. But with Stanton behind him, I don't blame him for not swinging. Like, it was a ball. You had a full count. I get it. Moving on to then Thursday, Yankees come back out. They take the series. It was really nice. Looking back, since 2023, the Yankees have played really great against Houston. It doesn't feel like it because way back in the day with all the playoffs and the cheating and everything else, but the Yankees might have Houston's number now, and that's really good to know. Also, special shout out to Carlos Rodon on Thursday because through all of the BS going on in that game, he never lost his cool, and he did exactly what you need him to do as a leader. So I love that for him. Now, Friday. Friday was very frustrating for me because I felt like the Yankees were a little too cocky, or the management was a little too cocky because they took the series in Houston. They go out against Toronto at home and lose 7-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
horrible. One run off of a solo home run from Giancarlo Stanton because he does that. But also, go ahead. Sorry.
No, and I was just going to say, it was the first time that Schlittler schlit the bed.
Yes.
Of all series, this is the one. Go ahead.
He stunk it up Friday night. That's for sure. Experienced his worst start. He only went 1 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, four earned runs. Gausman tossed 8 innings of 1 earned run baseball versus the Yankees. You know what? Whatever. It happened. We came back out Saturday, won the game 3-1. Luis Gil looked phenomenal. Very strong outing. Six innings. Yankees moved within 3 of the divisional lead. And then they went out today. And thankfully, Ben Rice showed up. Thankfully, their pitcher was tipping pitches because Ben Rice was able to hit a 3-run shot, and that ended up being what probably won the game for us because after that, we got a go-ahead double from Belly to put us up 4-3. Devin Williams came out in the 8th, and I was stressed. He had 2 men on.
Oh, my God.
Like, please don't do this to me right now. I'm trying to watch football. You're stressing me out. But Yankees held on. They took this series, which it feels good to beat an AL East team, but it feels really good to beat Toronto this season. Now we all need to root for Boston's failure tonight. Game is still going, but that brings us to the end of the week. And listen, it was a pretty good week for the Yankees. I can't complain.
Absolutely. And by the way, the Diamondbacks in the top of the 7th are winning 3-1. Nice. So let's just keep our hearts and minds in Arizona while we talk all things Yankees, because we might be looking even better than this if the Red Sox lose. So here we are after today's game win. So isn't that pretty? Ain't she pretty? And so this feels like, okay, we gotta be cautiously optimistic, but this is like something I know I needed. Anyone in the chat, you, Sierra, did you not need this? Just that one little number change gave me so much life. So all the confetti, and we're gonna enjoy this moment while we have it. May we have it for the next 30-something games. So, so let's just then get to the hot topics, which we now politely call news and views. So, actually, the first thing I want to just give a quick shout out to is CC Sabathia Day is what I'm calling it. It was really great that Cooperstown folks let the plaque come down for, not the whole game. I don't know why they decided just for the 5th inning until the 5th inning, and then it's going right back up to Cooperstown. But it was a nice, quick, classy celebration. My only gripe is that, Yankee fans meander in, giveaway or not. So it really stunk to me that the stadium was so empty for it. I know that opportunities were limited. It's not like you could do it, pause the game in the middle when the stadium's more full or anything like that. But come on, PR and marketing folks. When did you, Sierra, notice like the tweets going out about, hey, get in your seats by 12:30? I feel like it was this week. This was planned well before then. It should have been on every freaking post. It should have been just like when we pivoted to this time. The slide says new time on the slide for this show. So like, I just feel like I feel bad for CC. I don't know if he noticed or cared, but more than one fan was commenting on Twitter.
No, I really didn't see a good promo for it, to be honest with you. And to Lori's point, they were probably all at Billy's.
Yeah,
They were getting their pregame on,
absolutely.
and it's
Absolutely.
it's sad to see. CC was such a big part of the organization. He's the guy that everybody should want on their team, and he was a big part of the '09 World Series. The last time we won a World Series, before we went into this horrifically long drought. So it sucks. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what they could have done better because I feel like Yankees fans and Dodgers fans show up late to things. That's just what we do. So,
Yeah, and I'm going to play like Monday morning quarterback on this. I am not a marketing professional at all. But how about we're putting all the bobbleheads away at 12:30, whether they're gone or not? That would get some drunksies from Ralph's, from Billy's rolling over. Everyone wants that bobblehead to send on eBay, sell on eBay tonight. How about up until 12:30, you get a $2 coupon for the Yankee store. When you go buy your merch, a couple of bucks off. You don't think people care that it's only $2? It's something. These are little things that would have cost them nothing. And it would have been a gimmick that might have gotten some more butts and seats, not many, but it would have been echoing the way it was. But anyway, so not game related, but CC just deserved better. That's all. As of Friday night, I don't know what it is now. The Yankees were the best team in MLB over the last 22 games. And that was a shocker for me. I don't know if that shocks any of you. I had to wrap my brain around that because in my mind, it's been like, holy crap, we suck. We're not going to get anywhere. If we get a wild card, it's going to be a big if. I was like, oh, hey, look at them. So is that a shocker or is that a tell of the rest of the league?
No, I think it's both. So the Yankees were so bad in June and July that seeing them perform well, it's like surprising. But also a lot of the really good teams have struggled recently. The Dodgers are struggling, the Cubs are struggling, Boston has started to slip again. It's been a very weird season for the MLB. I feel like there's not been any like super outstanding teams. The Brewers went on this one really good run, but who knows if that means anything. Like there's not been a really good standout team in my opinion. There's been a lot of mid and a lot of bad. So if the Yankees can be the best of the mid, I'll take it.
Oh, I'll take it all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. No pun intended. But what is it? It's a really weird thing that MLB wide, to your point. Ohtani is snoozing. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, Tatis Jr. hasn't been anything special this season. He's
Yeah.
had days where he plays really well, and then he just looks average like the rest of the league. Elly De La Cruz will play really well, and then he'll look really average. There's not been anything. Well, we shouldn't say there's nobody's been outstanding because Kyle Schwarber and Cal Raleigh are doing some really great things. Cal Raleigh's doing something that a catcher has never done before. So congratulations to him and his big ass, I guess. And Kyle Schwarber has just been lights out for the Phillies. But other than that, like the teams in themselves haven't been outstanding.
No, they really haven't. And when you look at the standings, there's a huge drop after the Red Sox. Like our division stinks to high heaven. So and just even this series, I think this was the first time that I was not nervous about Vladdy Jr. He was not a menace at all. I think it's I feel very, very bad for Bo Bichette because that slide into home plate yesterday, you just knew something was gonna I'm not Nostradamusing it, but I knew he wouldn't be in the game today after that. So maybe that had some, effect on them not, producing today. But Vladdy was kind of a sleeper. So, Yeah, so to your point, like the greats, the ones that are always the menace and the concern, weren't. So
He can stay asleep, and if when we play Boston, unfortunately for Boston, Roman Anthony is hurt, so he can't pester us like he has been this season. If Alex Bregman could go to sleep and not pester us, great. I'll take it.
yep. Yep. And so John is asking, what did you ladies think of the pitcher throwing at the catcher in the previous series in Houston?
Listen, Framber Valdez is I'm not gonna use profanity. He's a little baby, okay? Your catcher, Little Caesar Salad, told you to step off because you weren't in sync and you didn't do that, and then you threw the pitch that gave up the grand slam. So for you to turn around and then throw and like cross up your catcher on purpose, and you can't say he didn't because it's so freaking obvious that he did. But for you to turn around and cross up your catcher on purpose, you're a horrible person and a horrible teammate. Like, that's your teammate. And at the end of the day, he's a human being. So even if it was his mistake, he's still a human being. So you should never treat somebody like that. I can't believe that there wasn't, and I didn't think anything would happen publicly, but I can't believe Houston didn't do anything behind closed doors because that shouldn't be acceptable. Like, you could see it all over the catcher's face. And look at poor Volpe. He's standing there like, what is happening?
Well, I mean, I thought in that moment that, is this going to be the first ever intra-team like brawl? Like, is this catcher going to go and rush him on the mound and throw him down in the dirt? Because, yeah, I really hope that there would have been a consequence of some sort. He wouldn't have been ejected from the game for it because, probably because, why would he have hit his catcher? That's not a violation of any kind. It had to have been a mistake. It was so not.
Of course, Volpe, it's right down the middle of the plate, and Volpe doesn't take the opportunity to freaking crush a ball. So,
I think we could do an entire show about Volpe and air our grievances. It was, Lori. It was such a B move. And you know what? Karma stinks, and he's going to get it. So, and Michael, yeah, I know, thank you for, saying this, but it's true. Vladdy did get hits, but they weren't of any consequence. And part of it, I know, is that the other guys didn't then come up and turn it into something. But that power bat, that, that launch, over the fence, none of that was happening with him. And it was kind of nice.
And he didn't steal 11 bases either. So that was kind of nice.
Nope. But, and Lori called him Vladdy, but he has wheels this season, though. Did you see him run those bases all the way to third?
He can run. For a big boy, he can run.
Yeah. And now that he's slimmer and trimmer, all the more. So, and Jacob, good to see you. Yep. Okay. Hey, besties. We're not broke besties though, right? I don't know the difference.
No, you're not. No,
just straight up besties. Okay. All right. So what else do we want to talk about on news and views? I'm trying to think of.
Let's talk about Aaron Judge and playing the outfield.
Yeah, go ahead. You go first. I do have something about that.
Listen, Judge had a good game, a decent game today. He had 3 walks. He did steal a base, and he did have a diving catch, which made me feel a little bit better. But Aaron Judge being in the outfield is, after a Friday night's game, makes me so nervous. And Boone is avoiding questions when he's being asked about it. And he's saying they're inventing ways for Judge to field the ball and get to new cutoff men and things like that. To me, that says that he is more injured than they want us to know, and he shouldn't be in the field. And I get it. It's a catch-22. We need Stanton in the lineup, and we need Judge in the lineup. But why are we risking an even more of an injury this late in the season when we're going for a playoff push? Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not acceptable. And what frustrates me the most is if he is hurt, you are the captain. Speak up. You are hurting your team more if you're putting yourself out there injured. There's no reason that on Friday night, was it Varshaw? He wasn't even at third base yet when Judge got the ball. So you're hurting the team more than helping them at that point. So
right.
I have some issues with the way that this is being handled.
And he ultimately cost us a run to the what you were just describing about the infield guys being the relay for him, because that 5 seconds matters. And it did cost us a run. So and I don't know, am I the only one that noticed after he did his own big boy throw today that his face afterwards, they noticed it in the booth, but he is hurt. There's no way. And so I don't know why. I don't know if he's being compelled to or what, or he feels like that's what a captain should do. No, that ain't it, kid. But I'm really worried about it. And especially since 2024, 2023, 2024. What year is it? Who am I? Where am I? His last postseason sucked. He was nowhere. And if we want production out of him, as now that we even have more of a shot at this moment than we thought, take care of it now. We have the depth in the outfield, and the Stanton issue is going to be a problem. I think Stanton going, big fat donuts across the line was inevitable. But he's healthy and did okay in left the other night. So, but
to your point,
for the DH is the thing.
To your point, there is outfield depth. The Yankees traded for guys that they're not using, and I think that's even more frustrating. You have Jose Caballero, who can play the field. You have Ahmed Rosario, who I don't even know why he's on the team if you're not going to use him. What is the point? The only thing we're using him for is to see his little bald self running up and down the screen, cheering on his teammates. Like, he literally just took on Marcus Stroman's role of being the hype man, and that's it. So the Yankees are creating their own issues when they have the depth there. They also had the opportunity. Listen, I might get crucified for this, but they had the opportunity to bring up Spencer Jones, and they didn't do it. So they got to figure this out. And at the end of the day, if Stanton is doing better at the plate than Judge, you play Stanton. I don't care that Judge is the captain at this point. You play the hot hand and don't rely on the analytics at this point.
But we have to rely on the analytics. It's all that organization knows. They don't want to be naked. All right, so let's talk about who's hot, who's not. Who's your hottie? You're dating a few people, Ciara. Who are your hotties?
my first rose is gonna go to Mr. Cody Bellinger, because first of all, anyone who thinks that Cody Bellinger isn't having an MVP caliber season, I don't know if we're watching the same player. So Cody Bellinger is the only player in all of MLB with over an 825 OPS and 11 DRS, defensive run saved. So he is getting it done on both sides of the field. Like, he's getting it done in the field and at the plate. You can't convince me that this man shouldn't be in pinstripes next year. Like, he is a beast in left field, a beast in center field, a beast in right field. He plays first base. He hits the ball well. He gave us a go-ahead double today. Cody Bellinger deserves all of the roses. And if he doesn't return next year, I might actually cry.
Yeah, I would throw dollar bills at him like I'm at a bachelorette party in a strip club. So we can't be there. We wouldn't be where we are without him. So consequential. So that's a good pick. Who else are you offering a rose to?
Let's give our next rose to Luis Gil, because he had a really good outing, 6 strong innings. It's really nice to see him bouncing back. Obviously, this wasn't the season we hoped he would have. He won Rookie of the Year last season and then came out this year, ended up injured again. Very disappointing. But he has, over his last couple starts, just gotten better and better, and with the most one being probably the most significant in my opinion. Looking forward to seeing how he finishes out the year for us.
Right. It was nice to see Rookie of the Year Gil. It's been a long while. Okay. 2 more roses. It's getting close on this journey this season.
Max Fried. So Max Fried, after 8 consecutive outings, has given us 4 strong outings. We got 1 6th inning and then 3 7. Last 4 outings, Max has a 1.67 ERA. And I know he looked a little rocky today, but listen, he's clearly still getting it done. So Max Fried, love to see it. I truly don't think that he was ever meant to be the ace of this staff. Unfortunately, Garrett Cole getting hurt kind of, ruffled it. And then the way that Fried pitched in the first half, I think some extra expectations were put on him. He's right behind Carlos Rodon. He has 15 wins this season. Carlos is tied for most in the league with Freddie Peralta at 16. So when Cole comes back, I'm very excited to see the 1-2-3 with them and see how that kind of works out. But that leads me to my last who is hot. And when I say hot, I mean like he has a hot head. I'm giving it to Jose Caballero because, listen, the guy gets on base. He's a menace on the bases. But also, I love the fire. Do I think he should have gotten thrown out? No. Do I think he maybe needs to control his temper? Just a little bit, probably. But I love the fire because a lot of the team has been lacking it this season, and we stunk in June and July. It's nice to see somebody actually care. But also, he has a point. He said to the how can you see me striking out, see the ball hitting me, see that it was a strike? Like, how can you see all of it and make that call without any help? So I am Team Jose Caballero on that one, and I really think that the whole umpire crew in Houston from this week should really be looked into because they were trash.
Yeah, I mean, when Angel Hernandez is looking like someone I'm starting to miss, then there's an issue. So that was just the most bizarre series of calls I've ever seen, and I'm old. So breaking news, Lori broke the news. The Sox are now beating the Diamondbacks. So
dang it.
A quick moment of manifestation, everybody. It's only the bottom of the 7th. So we gotta get the Diamondbacks to make that happen for us. All right. So for me, speaking of fire and heat, my hot was it. I have 3 roses to give away. Maybe I'm a little bit further along in the journey. I love the Bachelorette theme we have going on here, but for anyone who's not getting it. But Fernando Cruz, who, by the way, is much older than I thought. And yes, he grunts like Monica Seles. People have the nerve to be complaining about that. You grunt. You know, I don't know, scratch the dirt with your hooves like a bull if you need to. Because it's a little bit uncomfortable watching him because his face, he turns around and he does this weird thing with his face and his cheeks puff out, and I'm like, is he having a heart attack? What's going on? But it was like, yes, like I did it. And it's not just when he's on the mound. There was a great shot of him yesterday in the dugout at the railing, waiting for the last pitch of that inning. And he was the first one like out there. And I thought that railing in the dugout was going to break. He was slamming it so hard. I was afraid that he wouldn't be able to pitch ever again in his career. But he brings so much energy, and he has been pretty lights out. And in this, I'm talking about this series at the moment. He has cleaned up messes, and maybe he needs to be a little bit closer towards the end of the game, and he has been inching up there. Because we know the Devin Williams experiment is over.
Yeah, he is climbing higher and higher on the bullpen trust tree.
Absolutely. And Dominguez, I have to give him a hot. I probably shouldn't be giving a rose to someone who could be my grandson, but I'm going to because 46 RBIs this kid has. if we could just get him to figure out how to do the thing when he's on the grass in outfield, then that would be a really good thing. But we need him at the plate, and he's producing at the plate. So I want to shout him out because I feel like I have not given any respect to Dominguez for the past several shows, and it's time. So you're gonna see me contradict myself shortly when we get to the other categories here, but I'm giving my last rose to Chisholm, to Jazz, because so far this season, 39 home runs, 93 RBIs, and 44 steals. That's hot, everybody. So for hitting only, he's a hottie. Let's go to who's not hot whatsoever. Who you sending home, Ciara?
Can I send home the whole bullpen? Devin Williams, because while he did get it done today, I mean, he got out of it today. Anytime he goes on the mound, I just have heart palpitations. Like, I am stressed out 24/7 24/7. That doesn't even make any sense. The whole time he's out there, though. It feels like it's 24/7 when he's on the mound. Yeah. I'm going to follow that up with Duvall, because he's just been a little inconsistent, and I don't like it. He has a pink glove. I do like that, but I don't like his inconsistency. And I have two more, but to round out the pitching, Will Warren, he is also inconsistent. And again, all I'm asking for is our pitching to be consistent and going into the postseason. But to round out who's getting voted off of the island today, Ryan McMahon. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. The Yankees ignored the gaping hole at third base in the offseason. Ryan McMahon is the best that they can come up with. And the fact that he came out and said, yeah, I grew up with Aaron Judge's wife, Samantha. Like, you're not helping the cause where we think that Aaron Judge runs this front office, because you stink at the plate. Congratulations, you can field the ball, but if you can't hit the ball, you're still not helping. So he can get voted off the island today.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my response to that. So for me, who's not, get Volpe the hell off my team. Let him and Devin buy a little beach hut in Cancun or something and live their best life. I know, like, he's pre-arb and all that, but let's find a way. He is just there's no coming back. I really feel like he's just dead all over the place. So, John, have we met? I tend not to pull punches, John. Yeah, it's just, and I do feel bad for the kid. And he is a kid, but just zeros across the board from him, and they're still protecting him. They're still, I just don't get it. So, Jordan. Jordan gets it. All right. And then, so here's where I'm being a little bit, two-sided here. Chisholm is a naughty for me for his defense. I don't know what's going on that he is wandering the infield like, oh, the grass seems a little greener today. And I wonder what fan attendance is. It's pretty full. Do you think we're at 52,000? He is not present. It's not even about mechanics and baseball IQ. What's going on? And Judge is going to rely on him for the relays. It's laughable and concerning.
I really think that they gassed up anybody who was going to play second base this year, and they were like, there's no way that you can be worse than Gleyber Torres defensively. And Jazz said, hold my beer, because watch me do my thing. Watch me help Volpe screw up this infield every chance I get. The infield defense in general has just been laughable all season. Even Ryan McMahon, who was supposed to be the Lord and Savior has made mistakes, and we have Ben Rice making mistakes at first base, and Goldie is hurt, and our infield defense just is. It makes me want to puke sometimes.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You can't even speculate why he's the golden child, but he is, and that's got to change. I don't know what it's going to take. So let's talk about Williams one last time, only to say I agree with Sierra. She said it all. He was not what he was purported to be, and just needs to go with his 1 year self and bye.
I just feel like he never wanted to be here. Like it's written all over his face that he doesn't want to be in New York. So like if we could DFA somebody today without missing a beat, I would DFA Williams before I would DFA Volpe.
Yeah, I mean, preferably both, but yes. So, so Karen saying, I want to toss Jazz like Uncle Phil does DJ Jazz in Fresh Prince.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah, he really just needs some, I don't know what, a meditation retreat, cognitive coaching. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he was better at third than he is at second, which was supposed to be his natural position in the first place. So, and Sierra's being so good about not saying Gleyber Torres in this conversation, but everybody, she's thinking it.
It just makes me laugh because you brought it up, so now I'm going to say it. I was told when Gleyber Torres left this team that the infield defense would be magically fixed. Somehow, it's even worse because at least when Gleyber was messing up, it was only Gleyber. Now you have every infielder messing up. It's all of them. It's been like a domino effect this season. It's horrible. So, and the fact that I think the other thing that makes me laugh is when you look at how he's playing in Detroit, it comes down to like, is this an organizational issue? Is this a New York Yankee issue? So listen, I won't drag it out because I can have this conversation all day, but that's just how I feel about it.
Like I said, I mean, we could have it. Maybe we should consider in the off season doing spotlights on everybody that we wish we could do a whole show on. Maybe that'll be the time. Let's do a retrospective on Volpe, for example, in November at some time. Okay. All right. So the meh.
So I have two. The first one, I already said it a little bit, but Aaron Judge being in the outfield terrifies me. Offensively, he hasn't been terrible, but defensively, I don't want him out there. He proved Friday night that he's not ready. And yeah, he made a diving catch today. It looked great, whatever, but he didn't have to throw it in. So I don't know. I'm really uncomfortable with him being in right field. So it's time that the Yankees have an uncomfortable conversation with Judge and his team and decide what they really need to do. Because I feel like if we make it far in the postseason, it could cost us a game. And I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable at this point, especially when you're the captain of this team, you're the face of this franchise. And at the end of the day, if you're hurt, you need to step up and say something. That's all there is to it.
Yep. And hey, Damien, thanks for joining. And also, so you come in, Egyptian magician. So Damien saying it's a leadership issue. Go figure. We haven't talked about the front office at all on the show, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Gleyber's like a Gold Glove defender in Detroit, but he looks a heck of a lot better than he did in the Yankees infield. Offensively, he's been good. So I agree. AJ Hinch holds them accountable, and you can see it. Gleyber was always somebody that needed to be held accountable. When Carlos Mendoza was a part of the coaching staff, he did that. As soon as he left, there was nobody doing that for Gleyber Torres, and you could see it, how it really affected him. But again, I can have a whole debate on that. So I'm going to keep on rolling with my Maz. Harkey, the bullpen coach, buddy, you and I need to have a conversation. Our the bullpen management is trash. Okay. Get it together. When you answer the phone, tell Aaron Boone, no, that is not who I'm putting in right now, because he's not ready. He's not the guy for high leverage. He's not the guy for medium leverage. You're the one in the bullpen with these guys. You see them warming up. You know what they can and cannot do. Have a conversation with Matt Blake. Have a conversation with Aaron Boone and tell them what is up, because the bullpen management is trash and I'm over it.
Yep. And they really remember the time when we thought that our bullpen was really stacked. So how'd that go for us? And also I did a little rabbit holing this afternoon, and we're not a young bullpen. We are mid-30s bullpen for like the vast majority of the arms out there. And so yes, I remember the good old Corey Kluber, at 37 years of age. But to have a whole crew of them, we got to get some young arms in there. Who's down? Who are we hugging now in AAA that could really be on hyper development mode? Because this bullpen is going to need a lot of focus. So good luck with that, everybody. So my meh goes to Ryan McMahon for two reasons. First of all, I do feel like he's made a difference at third. He's got a bullet of an arm. Those throws he makes across the diamond are always spot on and on time. So I'm liking him at third. Well, will I feel the same way when my Cabrera comes back? I don't know. Ask me then. But at this moment, I'm at least giving him a meh for that. And, he went, I thought it was 3 for 3. It was 3 for 4 the other night. It was the first time. Like, oh, he does swing. And so I know the tiniest of sample sizes, but he can do it. We have the receipts. So let's focus a little bit on that. Ausmus. What about it? Let's have a both-sided player somewhere on the field. It shouldn't be a luxury. All right. So hero of the week.
So I feel like we didn't talk about him enough yet today, or at all, but Trent Grisham is my hero because I don't care what anyone says. Trent Grisham plays Gold Glove defense. I don't care what anyone says. Trent Grisham, he's only, I know he looks 37. He's only 28 years old.
It's the mustache.
There is so much upside to Trent Grisham, and it frustrates the hell out of me to know that last season he was on the bench. Well, we watched Alex Verdogpoop playing the field, getting the at-bats, not doing anything. After Boston fans warned us up and down that after the second half of the season, he wasn't going to do crap, okay? And we didn't get Grisham to play, and we didn't get Dominguez to play. Instead we continued with him. Grisham's grand slam, chef's kiss on the week. I love it. He also, shout out to Grisham. He career high 30 home runs, and he hit his 100th career home run this week. Grisham, he deserves all of my flowers right now. He might just be the winner tonight.
Ciara, I'm a little bit mad at you for not coming up with Verdogpoop while he was still with us.
Sorry.
That is hilarious. That is so good. And so John, you got to get that trending on Twitter. That needs to be hashtagged Grishlam. I love it. Okay, for me, it's Belly. It's Belly. It's always been Belly. Clutch, consistent, articulate with the media, which is a rarity in that clubhouse. Accountability with the media, which is a rarity in that clubhouse. We need him forever. So can we make that happen? No, we can't. But I can't even imagine a world where even Cashman wouldn't see that and make sure that we keep him. I want to give an honorable mention to two folks. I want to give an honorable mention to Austin Wells, only because of that throw to second base in the late innings today. That could have been ugly, and we could be having a completely different show. So that's my mention to Austin Wells. And there has been a little bit of production. It's not been donuts all the way across every game, just most games. So, and hence the meh. And Ben Rice, really, really, I want to give him honorable mention too. He was actually, it's a battle. It could have been co-heroes. But that 3-run homer to start the game off set the tone. To do it that early, if that didn't happen as early as it did, also, who knows how things would have played out. So that's it for my hero of the week. I'm not seeing any. Oh, so Egyptian magician saying that Verdugo haunts my dreams still. I do have to say I feel bad for him that he's not working yet. So I don't know.
I don't feel bad for him. I don't.
I'm a soft.
You blew your chance.
Yeah, I know.
Being Aaron Judge's friend isn't enough on your resume to get you a job.
No. And they did not exchange black diamond necklaces. So it can't have been that deep anyway. All right. So let's do a quick so we're very light with the IL because there's you'll get that with one of the next segments, but right now the only real update is Brent Hedrick began his rehab assignment at Scranton. So I don't even know how to feel about that because I feel like we haven't seen him at all. like does this really matter of any consequence? I don't think so, but that was the news there. So let's just roll along to so Sierra, you have a prospects one, and I didn't include the slide. So go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to talk about Dax Kilby. So he was the 39th pick in the 2025 draft for the New York Yankees. This should come as a surprise to no one. He's a shortstop because the Yankees draft pitchers and shortstops. But he could be like the number 2 behind George Lombard coming up through the system as far as like the highly touted prospects. He is crushing pitches in the Florida State League. It's a single A affiliate. Tuesday's game, Kilby had 2 walks and 2 hits, one being a triple. He improved his OPS to 882, and he is drawing praise from everybody regarding his approach at the plate. So Dax Kilby, remember his name and look out for him next season because that part of baseball is almost over, but he deserved to get my prospect shout out today.
And he has a baseball name.
100%.
100%. So if that's the great predictor, I'm really looking forward. Okay, so thanks for that.
You're welcome.
If they do what they're supposed to be doing with prospects, it would be all the more exciting. So this is just someone else to worry about at the moment.
He's so far down in single A. Like,
yeah,
we're not seeing him until I'm like 60 years old. So,
hey, don't say that like it's a bad thing. All right. So now, hello, and goodbye. So welcome back, Ryan Yarbrough. He's actually been back since last Monday, but we didn't really haven't. I don't think we saw him. He didn't come in either series. So Austin Slater.
He's imaginary.
Say that again.
He's imaginary.
I feel like it's another Ellsbury sitch. So Austin Slater off the IL. So he's been reactivated. Whatever that means, because he's another one. Who? All right. He exists. JC Escara was optioned to AAA on the 5th after they brought him up on September 1st and did nothing with him. So I'm wondering, are they willfully using up his options? Because it just doesn't make sense.
Jordan said he pitched 5 innings Friday night. So totally, you and I clearly didn't pay attention to Friday's game because it was a 7-1 loss. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tend to block unpleasant, traumatic
Sorry,
things.
I was watching football. I was watching Travis Kelce injure his own teammate because, Taylor Swift said she was a fan of Xavier Worthy. So Travis Kelce went out and broke his shoulder. No big deal.
What? Oh
I mean, he
no.
obviously didn't do it on purpose, but like on a route, he like slammed into Xavier Worthy and dislocated his shoulder. It was crazy. Like I don't even understand how it happened.
She didn't call off the engagement, did she?
No, no.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay, so yeah, thank you for that. And I'm a Yarbrough fan, so I think I just went into a haze for my own self-protection. So oh, look, I did have a slide. Okay, so let's go to what's next. So here we go. Da, 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 da. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna check the score real fast. Oh, they're tied in the top of the ninth, the Red Sox and the Diamondbacks, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so here we go. How are we feeling about the Tigers? They're the top of their division.
Listen, so my friend Tom Lospel over at Empire State of Baseball, he labeled these 12 games this week and next week as the gauntlet. We are 4-2 in the first half of the gauntlet. If the Yankees can go 4-2 in the second half of the gauntlet, I'll be happy. Detroit, it could go either way. They're a really good team this season, and Boston has had the Yankees number all year. If we can do to Boston what we just if the Yankees can come out and beat Boston the way that they just beat Toronto, I'll be happy camper. No complaints.
If the Diamondbacks win tonight, I want a conference call with them about how they did it. I want every strategy, every playbook. They need to spill the tea with us to figure out why that was. So there we go with that. And now let's go to the trivia question of the week answer time. So, for those of you that missed it at the beginning, in 2015, the Yankees and the Astros faced each other in the very first MLB wildcard game. Upon clinching the spot in the postseason and celebrating in the Yankees clubhouse, this former Yankee was quoted as saying, "Everyone is on the same page, and that page is getting drunk." Who was that Yankee? Any final guesses there? I saw Lori bid in. Karen, you missed it at the top. I don't know if you want to bid in. Everyone else that popped in before the beginning of the show, here's your moment. But beep, let's do it. His name was John Ryan Murphy, and he was a catcher. And I actually have no memory of John Ryan Murphy.
I was going to say A-Rod.
I think someone else. Oh, I think that might have been Lori's guess. Actually, I think that's a fair guess. But yeah, John Ryan Murphy, you sound like my kind of guy. That was actually pretty funny. So, so there you have it there. And so, somebody asked at the very beginning. I'm sorry I didn't respond then. Join us live. So we're going live for this month of September. At the moment, that's the time frame for it. However, this does give us an opportunity to do some testing on. This might be better for everybody. It is a little bit of a sweet spot, but heading into football season, between the day game and the night game on Sundays, so there's a sweet spot there. When the postseason comes around, that's where it could get a little sketchy, but I think it's kind of the same thing. So we're going to contact anyone that is not the Yankees marketing team and make a final decision. But definitely for the month of September, this will be our time. And I'm so glad to see everybody here tonight. So you guys are great. So happy to have the family with us in the chat. Ciara, as always, doing all the things and spitting all the knowledge. And thank you so much for tuning in. Check out the guys Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And as always, you have a reserved seat with Ciara and me right here on the upper deck. And let's go Yankees and go Bills.